Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Okay, today I'm going to show you some of the problems in the prime location topic, and specifically we're going to use the cost volume analysis method. Okay, so when you talk about cost volume analysis, you know that you have to come up with the graph. So from the graph, you can determine which location is the best based on the quantity that have been forecasted. Alright, these are the questions. Let's see what information we have here. It's about Megat who's going to open a Japanese restaurant, and then he forecasted that maybe next year he gonna have 5,000 customers coming to the restaurant. Okay, and then they give us two locations here. We either Kuala Lumpur or Ipoh. So we need to decide for Megat based on the information they given. Okay, let's see. They give us type of cost. Okay, for cost volume analysis, two main costs that we need to look for. The first one is the fixed cost. Fixed cost usually will give you bigger value, bigger number. Okay, and then the next one is variable cost. The cost for one item or one unit. Okay, so let's see. Here, they not specifically tell you which one is which. So the best thing is you need to look very carefully here, okay, to decide which one is variable, which one is fixed cost. Okay, from this we can see that this is the big values. So we know that okay, these two, in which another clue is they have per year. So these two is going to be a fixed cost. So we need to add up these two for fixed cost value, and then these two is a smaller value, in which, and then the next clue is the per unit. So it's a cost per unit. This labor and the material. So what you have to do, we need to add up these two for the variable cost, and then we do the same location for Ipoh. And then these are the steps. Okay, these are the steps that you need to follow in the cost volume analysis. Okay, first is to define the TCU equation. Okay, we're going to do that later on. And then we need to find the crossover between these two locations. Okay, luckily we have two locations that we need to determine. So we only have one crossover. It's going to be a bit complicated when you have three locations. Okay, so three locations, you need to find the crossover for about three times. Okay. And then we need to find the Q scale, okay, at the x-axis, and then we need to find the y-axis for the TC scale, and then we need to plot, and then we need to determine to match the crossover number that we found with the crossover on the graph. Okay, and then we need to do the area, okay, which is the location, which is the on the graph. Okay, so we start with the first step. The first step is to define the total cost equation, define the TC. So since we have two locations, so we need to find two TC. Again, I remind you, we need to find the fixed costs and the variable costs. And then the first one, okay, we look for KL first. So the TC for KL is the 9. We know that fixed cost plus variable cost time quantity is the formula. Okay, so fixed cost here, where this 90,000 come from, is from 45,000 plus 45,000, and then for the variable cost, we need to add up the 20 plus 15, so we get 35Q. Okay, and then we go for the TC cost for Ipoh. I put I here. So again, fixed cost is 45,000 plus 25,000 is 70, and then this one for the variable cost, it's 21 plus 19, so you got 40. So next step. The next step is you need to find the crossover. Okay, first this is since there's two locations, so we need to find a crossover between KL and Ipoh. So what we have to do is just equal the TC for each location, and then you put all the you need to solve for Q, and you get Q 4,000. Q 4,000 is very important because to determine the x-axis, in which we know that the how big is your graph going to be. So for this, I will decide to go up to 10,000 because it's easy for me to calculate the y-axis later on. Okay, remember these are our TC, okay, plug in, and then we got Q equals to 4,000, and make sure that 4,000 is included in the range that you decide. So I have decided 0 to 10,000 for the x-axis. Now we're going to determine the y-axis. So for the y-axis, a bit longer of many steps. First, because I need to set the 3Q on the x-axis so that I can know what is the maximum total cost on the y-axis that I need to decide. Okay, so I choose these three so that easy to calculate. So this is the TC equation. Okay, so first we go with the Q equal to 0, just plug it into the equation. So we get 90,000, and then do for Q 5,000. Okay, plug in into the equation, you get 265. And then the third one is when Q 10,000, you get the total cost is 440,000. Okay, next you want to do for EPO. So for EPO, you repeat the same step in which when you set Q0 to the equation for EPO. Okay, make sure you for EPO, and then you get 70,000. And then when you set Q equal to 5,000, okay, you plug in 5,000 here, you get 270,000. And for 10,000, you plug in Q as 10,000, you get 470. So we need to find from all this TC value, which one is the maximum? Okay, from here we get 470,000. So the best thing is for easy to plot, you get a round number. I mean that easy to plot on a graph paper. So for me, I go for maybe 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 on a graph paper. So I decided to make my y-axis up to 500,000. Okay. So now I have my x-axis scale. Okay, 0 to 10,000 we decide here, and then I have my scale for my y-axis, 0 to 500,000. Now I want to plot the graph. Okay, so here see I set 0 to 10,000 and then 0 to 500,000. Okay, this one is the quantity and this one is the total cost. Okay, these are the information that we calculated earlier. So what we have to do now, okay, we start with the KL. So when Q is 0, so it's going to be 90,000. So 0, 90,000. Okay, plot 1 here. And then you set at Q 5,000. So it's going to be 265,000. So here you go up. Okay, I think about this. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. And then for 10,000, it's going to be 440,000. So it's about 444. Okay, it's about here. Okay. All right. So what you have to do, I need to connect all these three dot that I have drawn just now. So this purple line, okay, and then we need to put KL. So that we can remember after that. Okay, don't forget to label the line that you have drawn. Okay, next we're going to do for EPO. Again, you will plot these three coordinate. Okay, in the graph. The first one is when Q0, okay, is 70, and then when Q is 5,000, it's about 270 about here, and then okay, this one is the maximum one. So when the 10,000 going to be 450, I think it's about here. Okay, so these are the three dot that you have connected the red color. Then okay, sorry. Okay, then you need to put the label. So the red one is for EPO and the purple one is for KL. So you have completed the two lines that you need to draw because we have two locations. Okay, next step. Okay, next step is you need to find this is the crossover number we calculated. We just check. Is it true that there's a crossover between EPO? I mean, the graph is crossing each other at 4,000. So roughly we check. Yeah. Okay, so when you know that the calculation of the crossover is 4,000 and the graph you can see about 4,000, so it should be okay. You are on the right track. So you draw the line here, drag the line until here, and put the 4,000 here. Okay, what you have to do next, you need to know this side is for which location and this side for which location. So the rules is, when you see the line here, okay, find the lowest line in that area. For this one, we have red color. When we go up here, we know that red is EPO. So we know that this area belong to EPO. And you know that from this area onwards, we know that the lowest line here is KL. So what you have to do, you put here is belong to KL. Okay, not over yet. You need to produce the range. So for the range, means that from 0 to 4,000 is belong to Ipoh. So how to write it? I show you. And from 4,000 onwards, it's for Kuala Lumpur. So for the range, Ipoh is less than 4,000 and Kuala Lumpur is more than 5,000. Okay, we go back to the question. Do they ask us to decide something? Okay, we have plot, done. Which location has the lowest at 5,000? So the question asks us to read from the graph. So look at the 5,000 here. Here, so the area is belong to Kuala Lumpur. So you need to answer the question. If not, you lose the mark. So how to answer it? The best location for 5,000 is Kuala Lumpur. Okay? All right. We look at the third part of this question. Okay, using the 5,000 unit volume, compute the price. Okay, now they're asking about price. When you see the word price, and then they say that he intended to obtain, that means that he wants to get profit, about 100,000 per year. What should he decide on the price for location, since as for both location? So if he open the restaurant in Ipoh, what is the price? And if you open the restaurant in KL, what is the price, okay, for the buffet? So remember, these are the information that we have because it's related later on. So which formula to use? We need to use the profit formula, okay? So this is the profit, Q is the quantity, R is the selling price, the price that you want to put, okay? V here is the variable cost and FC is the fixed cost. So we need to calculate for two, okay? They ask us for two. So for one price for Ipoh, one price for KL. So the information here we have, okay, set profit to 1,000 because, 100,000 because Megat 100,000, okay? Q 5,000 is here because he said that 5,000 units. And what is R? We need to determine R. What is the value for V? V is the variable cost here. Remember, this is the TC equation. So we know that this is the variable cost for KL and this is the fixed cost for KL. This is the variable cost for Ipoh and this is the fixed cost for Ipoh. So we have all the information. Oops, okay. we do for Ipoh first because it came up first. So for Ipoh, 100,000, 5,000 from here. This is what we need to find, R, I for Ipoh. 40 is variable cost, where it's from here. And then 70,000, where it's from here, the fixed cost. So you calculate the R and you get 74 ringgit. And then let's calculate for KL. For KL, profit is the same because he intended to get 100,000. The Q is also the same because he said 5,000. And then we have 90,000 from the fixed cost. So I think we have solved the question for KL and also for Ipoh. So I hope you understand and thank you so much.